So if Joe Biden can pardon his son for 11 years, the biggest, most scathing pardon imaginable, bigger than Watergate, who could ever question Donald Trump for pardoning peaceful protesters on January 6th? It's ridiculous.
Here with reaction, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Is this over, Jim Jordan?
Well, we're going to look at David Weiss. Remember, the Congress has a strong history of looking at special counsels, getting a report from them, bringing them in for a hearing or deposition or maybe both. So we're going to look at all that. But I love what you said in your monologue, Sean. The Biden presidency started with a lie and it ended with a lie. And as you pointed out, there were all kinds of false things in between. But remember, October 2020, Joe Biden said in that debate, the Hunter Biden laptop story, according to 51 former intel officials, is a Russian information operation. That was a lie, and he knew it at the time. And then, of course, yesterday, after saying he wouldn't pardon his son, he turns around and does the very thing. Lie at the start, lie at the ending, and a terrible 4 years in between. Thank goodness President Trump is going back to the White House.
Yeah.
James Comer, let me ask you, in your mind, is this over for Joe Biden? Is it over for his brother? Is it over for other family members that were paid monies here? Or does this continue? Does Joe Biden need to think about pardoning these family members and maybe himself?
Well, remember, the House Oversight Committee referred Jim as well as Hunter Biden to the Department of Justice for perjury. We Hunter Biden, and he lied under oath, and we brought Jim Biden in for a transcribed interview, and he lied under oath. That's a fact. That's in a report that Jim Jordan and I signed and published to the American people. So I would fully expect Joe Biden to pardon Jim Biden. And remember, in our investigation, we found that 10 family members, including Joe Biden, profited from the influence peddling schemes where they were shaking down our adversaries around the world for tens of millions of dollars, and then they created all these shell companies and laundered the money through the shell companies. And this is according to 6 banks. 6 banks said this in the suspicious activity reports that were filed with Treasury, that they were laundering money, and they sent the money in incremental payments to 10 different Biden family members. So I think that the new Trump Justice Department is going to have a lot on its platter. I look forward to consulting with them to see if we can be of any further assistance. But right now, I think the ball will be in Attorney General Bondi's court.
So let me be clear, James Comer. Do you believe other Biden family members committed crimes? And do you believe that a new Attorney General,
it's a big question,
if they are upholding the law, would be within their jurisdiction to go forward with indictments? And what about Joe Biden himself?
I believe 2 other Biden family members definitely and knowingly committed crimes. In addition to Hunter Biden, you have Jim Biden and Joe Biden. Joe Biden obstructed my Chairman Jordan's investigations. He lied multiple times. He had his knowledge and involvement. We had sworn testimony from Bob Alinsky and Devin Archer that said that Joe Biden knew all along what was going on. He was selling the brand. He was selling access to our enemies around the world. And he lied, just like Jim Jordan said in the debate about the laptop, and he lied when he said he wasn't going to pardon his son. So, yes, Joe Biden, in my opinion, has committed crimes. Jim Biden, we saw he took in all these loans. He didn't pay any interest, didn't pay any principal, had no loan documentation. At what point do those loans become income they never paid taxes on? And by the way, why did he get those loans? What he doing? All the people that wired money to the Bidens were shady characters, either adversaries or people that were in trouble, needing assistance, needing a prosecutor fired, needing a pardon. They were needing something from Joe Biden, the big guy.
Same question, Jim Jordan. And do you believe that Joe Biden should think about pardoning the people that James Comer just mentioned and maybe himself?
Well, I assume he's already looking to do that for his brother. As Jamie pointed out, when we deposed him, he said things that just didn't square with what the evidence that we had and the facts that we had gathered. So we'll see. I do think it's interesting. You pointed this out, the time, the length of this from January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024, 10 years and 11 months. Remember, three of that of 11-year time frame, 3 of those years was when Joe Biden was vice president. So he's making sure, even though the statute of limitations has run for any involvement to Hunter Biden had with Burisma and taxes he owed for that unbelievable amount of income he got from that energy company in Ukraine. So I think that's something that I think is just huge. Because remember with Burisma, Hunter Biden got put on the board. He wasn't qualified to be on the board. He told us that himself in an interview. The heads of Burisma asked him to weigh in with his father to relieve the pressure they are under from the prosecutor in Ukraine. And then fourth, Joe Biden goes and does just that. And he uses our tax money, American tax dollars, to say, if you want the loan guarantee money, stop going after Burisma. My son's on the board and getting paid tons of money. And that happened. That's what we were looking at. And Democrats said, oh, there's nothing there. But somehow Joe Biden has to pardon for all that time frame.
Yeah, for Joe Biden is just beginning. It's my understanding that once you are pardoned by a president, you can no longer plead the fifth in future investigations. So this is just getting started. And to pardon someone for 10 years and 11 months, that's a long time. It means you think that there's a lot of bad activity to cover up. So if Trump does decide to pardon January 6 defendants, nobody can say that it's a double standard, or nobody can say that Trump is just playing to his base solely and that Democrats are above the law, or that they're not above the law, rather, that they're somehow perfect and morally high ground. It's not true, because clearly this is a president pardoning his son. So we'll see what happens next. This next chapter will be interesting, these investigations. Subscribe, follow, and hit the thumbs up. We'll talk to you soon.